Lean and mean for my child star, MJ knew him well. Hear him sing, watch him dance, he'll put you under his spell. Behind the scenes, Uncle John, all buddy time with his kids. Everybody around the world, tell what time it is.
It's time to smoke and die. Get ready.
Jump back, kiss myself.
It's time to smoke and die. Get ready. Get ready.
What time is it?
Get ready.
What time is it?
Get ready.
What time is it?
Hey there, all of you beautiful stupid babies. As promised, here are my afterthoughts about the Aamir Kahn tap dancing. If you're new to the channel, hi, I am Rick. Thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting. And if you're not new to the channel, that means you're old. And I'm glad you're here. To everybody in Calcutta, I am praying for you, and I don't just say that, I actually get on my knees and pray. And I have been praying for you guys and believing for healing and wholeness and restoration, and you're in my thoughts, and just love you guys. I'm so sorry for all you're having to go through. Hopefully this brings a little levity and lightheartedness, and I'm hoping every single one of you have your internet and electricity back so that you can see this, among other things. As you saw at the beginning, I did a little tap dance there, and I'm going to show you something at the very end. When some of you have already seen it, I used to be on a TV show called The Tim Conway Show. For those of you who don't know who Tim Conway was, he was a legendary comedian who got famous on the Carol Burnett Show, another legendary comedian. And he had a variety show that was on for 2 years, and I was one of several kids who were part of this dancing troupe called the Don Crichton Dancers. At the end of the video, you will see me do a number called Shine It On, and I've been tap dancing for a very long time. When I was a kid, it was standard in the entertainment industry, if you wanted to be an actor, you needed to be a triple threat. And a triple threat is somebody who can act, sing, and dance. It was standard. It's no longer standard to my knowledge, but it was when I was a child actor, and I'm really thankful for it. I took 7 years of tap dance from the same tap dancing instructor. His name was Bill Bartlett, and I got my first professional job dancing on the Tim Conway Show. It suited me very well later on in life when I did a play called Chaplin, which was a musical about the life of Charlie Chaplin. Anyway, I digress. You'll notice in the comments of the video that we did in the reaction that I was really dissatisfied with the quote-unquote rehearsal video. That wasn't a rehearsal video, it was a promo spot for Aamir Kahn. But I do give credit where credit is due, because tap dancing is an incredibly difficult discipline, and it takes a long time to learn it and do it well. And what Aamir Kahn was able to do was meritorious, especially in light of the fact he was doing it surrounded by professional dancers. That exposes you quite deeply, so I truly did tip my cap to him for that. And I'm amazed that there isn't more tap dancing in musical numbers in Indian cinema, especially since so much of Indian cinema was inspired by Hollywood cinema back in the golden era, and so much was replicated in terms of the look and some of the musical numbers that harken back to the grand MGM musical days. And it's just interesting to me, of all of the art forms and things that were done in American cinema, that was something that didn't translate. And I know part of the reason for that is because that's just not something that people did and trained. You know, Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire didn't just suddenly wake up and tap dance. They trained as kids, and it takes years of training to become good at tap dancing, and it takes even more years to become great, and then it takes an extra level of gifting to become the kind of tap dancers that I always refer to as the quintessential tap dancers for me were Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire. If you haven't seen what they do, please do a search on them, YouTube search on them. And that's really all I have to say about the afterthoughts. I was going to give you some video for those of you who wanted to see me tap dancing both now and when I was a kid. If you have any questions for me, please put them in the comments and I will reply to the comments. And for those of you who've made some comments on some of the videos recently, first of all, like the Aamir Kahn one, there was a lot of comments in there about why are we reacting to this. For those of you who are new to the channel, we've had people asking for us to react to that for a year. That's why we're reacting to it. And some of you have also mentioned that I looked a little bit down the past few reactions. And the reality of that is I hate doing this remote reacting. I absolutely hate having to Skype with Corbin versus sitting side by side. It completely changes the DNA of what we do. I don't get the physical chemistry and the quickness of our reactions with one another because there's the delay in sound and I'm only seeing his face. I don't have the physical energy of him next to me. We're not watching the exact same screen and seeing things at the exact same time. When it comes to music videos, neither one of us are in sync with the sound, and the sound isn't coming through the beautiful sound system in his living room that the two of us can hear synchronized at the same time and dance and sing to, and you see it in sync with us. Many times we're reacting to something and I'm not even singing or moving and being my natural self because it's not gonna match, and I absolutely hate it. And I don't pretend well in those situations. I'm not going to be fake and pretend it's all fine and dandy and rosy, and I cannot wait for the day when we can react side by side again. And until then, I'm pushing and doing my absolute best to be sunshiny as the sun actually brightens my face while I'm talking to you. But I won't ever fake it. So it's been a really big struggle and challenge for me. It has nothing to do with the lockdown in terms of my mental state. I can get myself into a positive frame of reference and make myself do that. However, there are so many times where we're reacting to things and I just am wishing we were side by side, and I've been deeply concerned about how much it is changing the DNA of the channel. It really does bother me and concern me a lot. The other thing that will happen is when we record, we are filming reactions and going for 2.5 hours, and filming that way for 2.5 hours begins to take a toll on me and my energy on the latter ones that we film, and the last like 30 minutes tends to be low because I've been fighting so hard to stay upbeat and optimistic and encouraged while we're filming in a format that I really detest as far as our channel goes. So I, as always, am not shocked by the sensitivity of your observation skills and your capacity to read into every little nuance of my facial expressions and my body language and my vocal inflections, because, as I said from the very beginning of the channel, you guys are extraordinarily observant and extraordinarily caring. So thank you for that. If there's one thing I could ask of you, it would be pray that Corbin and I can start reacting side by side again as soon as freaking possible, because it's driving me crazy. In the meantime, thank you for hanging in there with us. Thank you for being a part of my channel over here and wanting to be a part of my life and caring about the things that I share with you. I love you guys, and as promised, here comes the little tap dance number. At the end will be my stupid little song, and you'll see the logo pop up for subscribing as well as for supporting me on Patreon. If you can do that right now, there's a link in the description to Patreon if you can support my channel. Love you guys. There's some afterthoughts. See you on OSR. And everybody in Calcutta, I love you. Hang in there. This too shall pass. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Don Crichton Dancers, featuring Ricky Siegel.
Brothers, do you know what shine it on means? Well, you should. Sisters, you gotta make that phrase more your own for your own good. When depression comes upon you, does a downer number on you, take no notice, shine it on. Now, if trouble is depressing you, then here's a little lesson you should take to heart. Yeah, take to heart, make Brandon's son. Now, when Noah saw the rain come down, it looked like real bad news. But he turned to his wife and he said, "Hey gal, come on, let's take a cruise." Yeah. And when Adam ate that apple, with guilt the man was tortured. But he took that seed and yes indeed, he raised an apple orchard. With the Bible you can't quarrel, and now let's hear the moral. If trouble is depressing you, then shine it on. comes your way, shine it on, shine it on. Morning news brings the blues, shine it on, shine it on. Just dismiss it, through and hiss it, bracket and parenthesis it. That's the way you shine it on. Shine it on. Shine it on. Shine, 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 shine
If you like this video and want some more, subscribe right now and you'll adore the time you spend with me and your extended family. And if generosity turns you on, just click that link to Patreon and give until your money's gone and no one else will be.
Rick Siegel, an institution of silliness for everyone but Corbin's mom.